All this time, my dear friends, the Lord is asking us to be born again. The life of the world and life above the world. A life in the flesh and the spirit. So, as you need food for your physical journey, physical upbringing and life, you need spiritual food for your spiritual journey. That's exactly where the Lord is giving us the Eucharist as our spiritual bread for our spiritual journey to be accomplished. For that, my dear friends, today He gives them bread from heaven. He's saying, I am the bread of life. To get them to that journey, He has to break your human strength, human way of looking at things. So that's why exactly He called Philip and said in front of 5,000 men alone, from where we can buy food for all these people. So naturally, it's Philip's hometown. That's why he's been challenged by the Lord. He must have been proud after looking at such a multitude of people. And he was challenged from where we can buy food. Then he is astonished and he is puzzled and he's tensed and he tried to find answers by himself. The word beautifully says, where shall we buy bread so that these people may eat? He said to test Philip. He said this to test Philip, for he himself knew what he was going to do. So it's a training, my dear friends. He puts you into a test so that your strength would be shaken. Your strategies would fail. He will show that He is there with you as a spiritual bread and spiritual strength. So it's a different kind of life. You live by your strength, by your energy. That's a physical, worldly kind of lifestyle. But then you begin to live with His strength. Then you no longer live in you, but Christ lives within you. That's how in John's Gospel there's no Eucharistic episode. There is no Last Supper. Here is the Eucharistic discourse that John is speaking about. Multiplication of bread. So that there he says, this is my bread, this is my body. And he is giving his life in the Spirit. So you begin to live a life led by the Spirit, not with your strength. This is exactly, it happens with the Spirit when you are born again. See the narration of Gamaliel, the explanation of Gamaliel in the first reading. So all the Pharisees, Sadducees and high priests wanted to stop their life, stop their journey, stop their preaching. But then more they tried to stop it, they couldn't. Because they are not of the world. They are not led by the flesh, no. Disciples were led by the Spirit, so no one can stop it. Because the realm of flesh and world cannot penetrate the realm of the Spirit. You are unshakable. You are steady and you are strong when you live in the Spirit. That's why Peter said, I no longer, we have to obey God, not you. However much they were beaten and they were threatened, no one, they are unstoppable. Because they had this Eucharistic way of life. They have this strength from within. Now dear friends, that's why Gamaliel says, if it is from human origin, it will destroy itself. That's exactly, if you live in the flesh, in the world, if you live by your strength, it will automatically ebb away, destroy. And rather, if you are connected to the Spirit, no one would be able to stop you. But if it is from God, you will not be able to stop them at all. Rather, he says, you may even find yourself fighting against God. See the word. Gamaliel is a Pharisee, teacher of St. Paul. When he was a Pharisee himself. And he is saying you might be fighting against God, because community, when you are led by the Spirit, community becomes the body of Jesus. That's exactly when Paul was encountered, Saul was encountered with Christ. He said, why do you persecute me? The community begins, community will be the body of Christ. So you may be fighting against God. It's a different way of life, my dear friends. For that, you have to penetrate your flesh. You have to say no to yourself and take up the cross. You have to live a Eucharistic life, agape way of loving, where you break yourself and you give yourself to the other. You say no to yourself, you say no to your will and say yes to his beckoning in the Gethsemane. It's a painful life, my dear friends. It's painful the worldly way, but then the true, real content, the joy you will find in breaking yourself. That is the meaning of Eucharist. Jesus says, whatever you have, you give me. There was a young boy with 2 loaves, 5 loaves and 2 fish. He said, give it to me. Whatever you have, give it to me. I will take care of it. And he took it, blessed it, broke it and gave it. This is exactly the way, this is the Eucharistic way of life. Disciples were chosen and they were broken and they were given. When they were given, the whole multitude, they were satisfied with that food. Only he can do that. If you give yourself to his hands. If you are selfish, if you have your own ulterior motives, you'll be stagnated. You'll be just the same. But if you give your life to him, he will break it, bless it, and give it to the others. So it's your choice. Whether you remain in the lunchbox of that young chap, or whether you give yourself to the hands of the Lord to be broken and given. You will be just a loner, a stagnated, muddy water pot, unless you give yourself unless you surrender yourself, like a river goes to the ocean, meets the ocean, the heavenly encounter of the Lord. It's your choice, my dear friends. Don't be scared. Just throw yourself to his hands. He will do the needful. He will do the best with your life. Think about it. Have a nice day. May God bless you.